Hello, everyone. So I'm back. I don't know how this is going to be edited, but I'm just doing the intro for every, section of this because that'll be a problem for me in the future. But I am joined by another participant in the Fantasy Movie League, Michael from
It's a
Star Wars
me, a
Pod.
Michael. I'm a
Yeah,
big Mario fan right now.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I don't know why, but I can imagine why.
Yeah, there's only one reason.
I know. So the way we're gonna do this, there's a nice reveal video we have here.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, I'll remind you, I have all the rosters pulled up on the side here. So I'll just kind of remind you who I'm sure you know who you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll remind everyone else kind of who everyone has. And just for fun, I'm going to make you guess who you think is at every position in this leaderboard.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
I
Ready?
like it. Yes.
Perfect.
Update time.
Who do you think's at number 5?
Again, I'm gonna say Morgan.
Surprisingly not, actually. It's
Okay.
really funny.
Oh no, not -10. I didn't get -10 points.
So that's because the only movie he's had come out is Indiana Jones, but it's just the reviews,
Okay.
which were awful.
Yeah, not great.
And there's some things I had to do just for the Excel spreadsheet, which kind of, makes this number more negative than it should be.
Gotcha.
However, it would still be a negative number. Just -10 is a little bit, just because I had to make some of the scores automatically 10 negatives, negative 0.5 just to fill it.
Gotcha.
So it'd calculate. But basically, yeah, that's again, if you have Indiana Jones, Transformers, Aquaman 2, Flash, Oppenheimer all coming out still,
Yeah.
being at -10
It
is
doesn't mean
whatever.
Yeah.
It's really
It'll be
nothing
fine.
because it's not fair.
Yeah.
This the real number 5, I guess, technically.
Okay, this one has to be Morgan. And to be fair, I don't remember what all the movies were, but I remember him having some silly choices. Oh my god! It's not...
But again, see,
I love the picture there.
Oh no, everyone's picture is made to look, besides mine, is made to make them look as bad as possible.
Yeah, good.
There's strategy involved here, see?
Exactly.
But no, yeah, Zach ended up being at number 4. And again, he's in very similar position to Lee and a few other people, and well, I guess, other people. I mean, not really, actually. They're in the worst positions because he has Spider-Verse 2 and Mission Impossible 7 and Dune 2 all still coming out.
Gotcha. He's got a stacked team.
He's got two potential $1 billion movies still waiting to come out.
Yeah, for sure.
So again, it's fake positioning right now for them.
Okay, so I'm going to change my strategy here. I'm going to say this one's you. It's going to be Morgan now, I bet.
Yeah, it is.
There we go.
Okay. Morgan at 118. Now, as we talked about with him, this is fake.
Okay.
This 3 is fake for him. I guaranteed him that by the time we do this again after the summer movie season, he will be last. Because so I'm just gonna tell. So his best movie so far of the movies that he's picked: Shazam 2, Creed 3, Cocaine Bear, and Knock at the Cabin have all come out.
Yeah. He's up here because his movies have come out, not because they did well.
Right. The movies he's waiting on are Trolls 3, Ghostbusters 2, and Craven.
Yep.
I don't know if you can really be just objectively speaking, it's hard to be in a good position right now when the biggest movie I think that you had, which was Creed 3, or maybe Shazam 2, depending on how you look at it, both underperformed heavily.
Right.
So he gets his. I said this is gonna be the highest he's gonna be, so he better enjoy the top of the mountain because unless unless something goes awful with like the DC stuff, Transformers, Indiana Jones, he will be probably in last place by the time we do this again.
And I'm sure he disagreed with that.
No, he agreed.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, because again, it's hard to objectively look at this.
Yeah.
And say, "Oh no, I'm in a great position going forward."
I just know that he'll argue with you about anything. So
that is true. We did argue about a bunch of things, a bunch of random things,
but
not about his positioning in this.
Okay, there you go.
Because he knows.
He knows his time is coming.
Knows. Okay, guess who number 2 is?
All right, this one's you. It has to be. Yeah. Let's go.
No, this is not even my fault. Okay, I know. Okay, but you're gonna wait till you see this. Anyways, first we're talking about me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ant-Man 3 screwed me over.
Yes, it did.
Because
you talk so much shit about the Marvel. You guys are dumb for not picking the Marvel movies.
But I need you to just remember this, okay?
Okay.
Guardians 3 has done amazing for me.
It has.
The Little Mermaid has nothing. So this score does not count the Little Mermaid box office so far.
Yeah.
No, the Marvel's Hunger Games and the Meg 2 still have to come out.
Yes, sir. It's got, yeah. Listen, I'm worried about it. I'll put it that way. I'm worried. I want to hold my number 1 position, but you got me a little nervous. So we'll see.
I am feeling very, very confident about being able to win this thing.
Yeah.
Despite what you're going to see in a moment.
I can't wait to see it. I have not like the score system. I have no idea how it works, but I'm gonna let's hope I'm in 300 at least.
Well, now you're just being overly optimistic.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I was almost 300.
You stole this, okay? And I will say this constantly. Somehow you managed to rig my own system against me. Your team right now is Barbie, Elementals, John Wick 4, Fast 10, Mario, Evil Dead Rise, and Asteroid City. Right now, you're winning by a large margin without Barbie, Elementals, and without Fast 10 having its full run. Plus, awards do matter, and Asteroid City is going to win awards.
Yep. No, I am... I definitely, there's some strategy in it there. I wanted my big box office, but I wanted my awards contenders as well. The funny thing is I'm not even going to go see Fast 10. So like, I'm not even supporting my own movie there.
I don't think you need to though. That's the thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, I was super happy with what Mario did for me. And here's the thing, it was a first
There's no way you saw that coming. I refuse to believe you could see $1 billion from Mario coming.
It's a recognizable name. It's Illumination. It's a kids movie. It's an animated kids movie. It's in the summer. They do gangbusters. You had to see it coming a little bit.
Not $1 billion. I saw it doing well. I did not see it doing that well, considering how competitive everything around it was.
Yeah.
Like,
but it felt right to me in the first round. I think I was either last or second.
You were last, I think.
Yeah, it came right. I mean, everyone had the chance.
I was not picking it first round because I didn't think it was going to be a first. I thought it would be okay. I didn't think it would be great. Like, and also John Wick 4 dominating the way it did was also something I don't think you could have possibly seen coming in the way it did.
Yeah, that's true. That was more of a personal pick than anything. So
I think there were a lot of people saying, okay, well, John Wick and Creed will be in the kind of the same tier, right, in terms of money, because John Wick doesn't typically make a ton of money.
Yeah.
It just turned out that no, this one's going to make a lot of money.
Yep. So,
and then obviously Fast 10 is going to make money, and I do think Barbie is going to make $1 billion. I think it's.
I've been thinking about this so much. I'm concerned. Like when I picked it, I completely forgot that it's coming out the same day as Oppenheimer, and that definitely worries me.
Okay, you ready for my hot take, which I've given every time I've talked about your team?
Okay.
I personally believe, and I don't want to believe this because this hurts my end goal of winning this, but I think Oppenheimer is going to flop.
Wow, flop.
I think it's going to get completely crushed because I think the pop culture like icon of Barbie,
yeah, that's big,
is so much more popular and powerful. And I think if you're choosing, because like I think at the end of the day, obviously I'm going to watch them back to back because I'm weird. However, a lot of people have to choose. And I think if you have to choose, I think at this point, I don't think you can just say, oh, well, it's a Christopher Nolan movie with a bunch of cool people in it and expect people to say, I'm going to choose that over whatever the hell Barbie's supposed to be, which looks weird and awesome.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you know this. Does Barbie have a rating yet?
If it does, it's PG-13. If it doesn't, then it'll probably be PG-13.
Okay. I was hoping for a PG. Like, I mean, I saw the trailer, there's definitely some edge to it. But I'm all about the family. I think there's a lot of value in having a family movie like Mario or Barbie if it lands a PG rating.
Well, every Marvel movie is a PG-13, right? And Marvel and Marvel, the way they make money typically is they hit every demographic, right? You hit the family, and then you hit the weird, like, middle of the like pack people who aren't going to see it in big, like, who aren't going to see it with families, right?
Right.
Barbie will probably do the same thing because, again, everyone who I've talked to, which again is not, I know that's not actually a metric for anything real. However, everyone I talked to said they're more excited for Barbie than Oppenheimer because it just looks really good.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, personally, I'm more excited for Oppenheimer. But yeah, I think Barbie hits way more demographics for sure. So
I don't know how I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that draft. I don't know how you stole these movies. Like, this feels like you rigged something. And Elementals could, like,
I'm not as confident there.
But again, you do realize you likely have the Oscar Best Picture winner and one of the dominant award movies in Elementals or Mario, right? Like best animated feature.
That's a good point. I didn't consider that, but yeah.
So you do have like a lot of stuff, which people like Elementals won't be awful, right? Like it won't do badly, I don't think.
Yeah. It's almost like Elementals or Pixar in general has hit this interesting position where they aren't like necessarily tailored to kids exactly like a Mario would be. I feel like they go for like more of the broad audience, older
but they always
adults.
Did kind of.
I guess so.
Was that like would you say that was a kids movie?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like Toy Story 3 is not a kids movie, right? Like, they're killing characters, it's not a movie you'd expect kids but that's kind of been always their edge is like, these are adult movies that are animated and therefore kids watch them kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, man, you're in such a good spot right now.
I'm happy about it.
And I was putting together the Excel spreadsheet, right, with all of that would auto update based on the box office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was putting in the formula and I was like, this really hurts me, all because of Ant-Man 3. Like, I put all my eggs in the Ant-Man 3 basket.
Mm.
Like, again, now that's assuming, because I'm just assuming Guardians and Little Mermaid, neither of them will hit $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it'll happen.
So it's interesting. Like Little Mermaid, I feel like everybody I know has gone to see that movie already. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to see it personally.
What? How dare you say such a thing?
I haven't seen any of the Disney live action remakes, actually, now that I think about it. I hate the concept of it. I feel like it's void of creativity.
I agree.
And so, I have no desire to see those movies.
See, so actually it's funny. So in my review of that movie, that Little Mermaid movie, I said, you know what? Stop remaking these live action things. You know what you can do if you really want to use these characters again? Make them musicals.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if you want to adapt something, adapt the Broadway musicals, right? And because that's the stuff where you get those extra songs. Because at the end of the day, I think the goal really should just be shove as many songs into that movie as humanly possible.
Interesting.
because like the best part of the Little and now I think you look at Beauty and the Beast where you have Emma Watson who cannot sing, but then when you get someone who can sing like Halle Bailey can, you want to use that. And I think what I didn't appreciate until I watched the movie is like getting someone who like who's really good at singing for a movie where half the movie the character cannot speak was probably not Disney's biggest brain move ever.
Those are becoming less and less common, the brain moves.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things though. It's like, okay, I guess, because she was like, I think her, and again, I know I'm kind of like talking about this movie now, but like, I think her best moments was when she was singing, right? I think all the movie's best moments were like, oh my God, they're singing songs and it sounds good. And it's apart from the one weird rap just put in the middle of it.
Oh no.
Because Lin-Manuel Miranda, right? Like if you got,
yeah, you
gotta have that one awkward rap that doesn't make any sense to being in there. And also you got Aquafina, so
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
but I mean, again, I mean, unless okay, do you think the Marvels or Hunger Games can make $1 billion?
No.
Are you sure the Hunger Games can't make $1 billion?
If either of them does, it will be that one.
Because the Marvels, I think, and this was my philosophy for Ant-Man Quantumania when I picked it, and it's my philosophy for the Marvels now, right? Which is, and probably when I picked it too, which is, I feel like that's a movie, or both those are movies, which will feast on the things around them because they're not going up against heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
Ant-Man,
that's a good point.
Ant-Man didn't do that because it got demolished by Creed and it got knocked out by Creed. Hey, there we go.
There you go.
And it got I don't know, killed by John Wick. That was not as good. But I think the Marvels is because I think Captain Marvel 1 made $1 billion.
Did it really? I actually don't know, but
I'm pretty confident in that one.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of like a lot of hate for that movie. I think there's a lot of internet trolls that are, we already get the review bar, the dislikes on the YouTube. Like I think they're even diehard. And it's hard to tell what actual impact that is, and it's probably small, but it's something.
It's non-existent because they all go watch the movie just to hate review it.
Good call.
Like that's the thing. Like a lot of these people, especially the higher profile people, guess what? They all go watch that movie.
Yeah.
Just because you're hating on it doesn't mean you aren't going to go watch it, right? That's the key. That's why I think people underestimate. Now picking two movies where the internet is going to basically pick them apart because of diversity and inclusion, I guess. It was probably not a smart move when audience score is some part of it.
Yeah.
But I was willing to take that because I think the box office payoff is going to be huge.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I felt like your strategy with the Marvel movies, and I agreed with, was more so, how can you go wrong? Like it's gonna give you some beef no matter which way it goes. So I mean, we'll see.
I think the only problem is I don't have any awards hitters. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't like. Would I be surprised if like none of these won awards for anything?
Right.
I mean, not really. Which may hurt me, although awards are a substantially smaller portion of the final score.
Right.
The other thing, which is the wild card, especially because I do have a hunch that between me and you, it'll be close.
I actually hope so. I don't want to run away. I want some competition here.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, it's good. I think it's gonna be close because I think the odds that Barbie and Elemental both do. I think the Marvels and Hunger Games. Like I have more unknowns because Guardians is still in the middle of its run, right? Little Mermaid's still in the middle of its run, or at the beginning of its run, right? The Marvels hasn't come out yet, and the Meg 2 is always a wild card because a movie like that can make $800 million worldwide, right?
Right.
Without much of a, without much hesitation. Now, I think the one mistake I did make was I didn't. I should have made overseas, like worldwide box office actually matter outside of hitting $1 billion, because I picked a movie that probably would make a ton of money overseas and not as much domestically. Because that was kind of dumb of me.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be tweaking, and I'm already ready for next year. So when I come back as reigning champ, so
that's a lot of. And well, the thing is, there's 3 things which are still like besides awards, which are still in the air, right? Which are the 2 actors, which can which are still relative to the movies, obviously substantially smaller, but at the same time, the actors still could matter in a close kind of thing, and the home video stuff, right? Which I won't come out till closer to the end of the year. So that stuff is still a wild card, which could, again, although it's not a big change, can still make some sort of change.
For sure.
So I think that's something else which, you have to kind of...
There's some mystery in there.
Consider. Yeah, you have to consider it before you... Like, if it does come down like 50 points, and then you add all that other stuff up, I could easily beat you.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Hey, I'm ready.
And I feel like this is gonna become a me versus you thing toward the end, unless someone does something crazy. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be a me versus nobody. I truly thought I was gonna run away with it.
I mean, yeah, you said that countless times during the draft.
I did, because I was so confident in oh my God, Ant-Man 3. Oh my God, Guardians 3. Oh my God, The Little Mermaid fell to me. Oh my God, The Marvels fell to me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, I mean, obviously I should have known that one of these movies was going to miss, but I was like, wait, you're telling me because I think in like the second last round or the third last round, I was like, Hunger Games is available. Like we see what happens when franchises with huge fan bases are resurrected, right? Like,
yeah. Well, it's tough because we didn't, and I'm a little worried about it because I don't know if that fan base has sustained itself over the years. But also at the time, we didn't even have the trailer for it, I don't think, when we did it. So like, it wasn't even on my radar, if I'm being honest.
And that's why it felt. I think that's what I think if we redrafted, I mean, I think you would probably pick the same team if they were all on the board, except maybe Evil Dead Rise. That might be the only thing on your, and maybe Elemental. Maybe those are the only 2 things you swap. But and I don't think you would. I don't think any of those things would have fallen to you. I think you would have gotten one of your top 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you got Fast 10, because I think you got that like 3rd.
Yeah, that was another one. And again, I'm not a Fast and Furious. Like, I've seen none of those movies. So
no, but you're a smart enough person to understand that they make a ton of money, even if you're not a fan of them, right?
Right, exactly. That
like, I'm not a Hunger Games fan. I'm probably not going to watch Hunger Games.
Interesting. I'm a big Hunger Games fan.
I'm not. I read the one book I had to for school, and then I watched, I think, the first 2 movies, but I never got into it, and I probably, like, there's a 90% chance, unless I think my ticket purchase is going to change the entire course of this, that I'm going to actually go watch it, right? So but I still understood like Harry Potter, right? We saw this with Fantastic Beasts. That movie and that franchise is a complete train wreck. That first movie made so much money because it just has the name Harry Potter associated. Right. And the Harry Potter fan base is it is huge, I guess, but because not saying it's huge would be an understatement of mass proportions.
Yeah.
But I don't think we thought it would be you put out a movie, it's going to make $1 billion without a doubt kind of fan base. Right. And I think Fantastic Beasts did make nearly $1 billion.
And that's another one I haven't seen, or any of those fantastic. Like this.
I saw the first one. I haven't seen anything since then. But I think the fan base I'm betting on the fan base sustaining itself enough to make it like substantial, to make a substantial impact. But it'll be interesting. So what are your overall thoughts on the way things have gone so far?
I mean, obviously, I'm very happy. This has been a lot of fun tracking this, and again, like Mario. I went to see it with my son. He really liked it. He's like a Mario super fan now, actually, because of it. But me personally, I didn't care about it. So it's giving me some rooting interest in movies I don't care about. Fast X again. That's one that I really hope that does well. Am I going to see it? No.
But you're a little more invested in the box office.
Exactly.
You're invested in the critic reviews, right? Yes. I'm sure you'll be a little bit more invested come awards time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Especially with your actors and all that other stuff.
For sure.
And speaking of tracking things, guess what?
What?
Soon, very soon. As in, depending on when this comes out, either a week or 2 weeks after this comes out.
Okay.
People watching this, and I guess you too, can actually see live the standings change on our website.
Let's go. That's sick. I'm excited for that.
So, which will be launching unless something crazy happens 2-ish weeks after the point in which I plan to release this.
Okay. Interesting. So about a month.
Yeah, about a month. That sounds right.
Okay. Cool. I'm excited for that. That is awesome.
So you and everyone watching this will actually be able to see it on our website. You'll actually be able to take a look at how everything is going and who's winning and how fast I'm catching up, because as The Little Mermaid starts to demolish the box office, I will obviously be sitting there and I will be
right on my tail.
Exactly. And as Fast 10 and Elementals, and as I'd be completely wrong, and Oppenheimer makes like $2 billion, which would actually be very bad for both of us.
Yes, we're rooting against it.
But if it does do, and I'm also rooting against Barbie, just to be clear here. I watched both of them opening day. However, I'm actively rooting for them to fail. Because this is the toxicity I'm bringing to the movie culture.
As you should.
Exactly. Because what's more fun than toxicness?
And winning.
Exactly. I need to win. And that is why I will continue. I will watch The Little Mermaid 700 times just to add to the box office and single-handedly will it. I'm just excited for Lee's video on why you should support Ezra Miller and watch The Flash.
Wait, what?
He's going to have to do it if he wants to get that Flash movie to make money.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
He probably won't, but
that would be funny.
I told him the best way to boost that Flash movie is to come out with a video explaining, like every good YouTuber, bring out some controversy and say, why do I support this person who absolutely should not, you should not support in any way?
Mm-hmm.
And then Morgan's going to have to explain why he supports, what's his face?
I don't even know.
Oh my God,
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, there we go.
There you go.
He's gonna go video saying why he supports Jonathan Majors, and because Ant-Man 3 is so far in the past, I don't have to even think about controversy.
Mm-hmm.
I can just enjoy my non-controversial movies. And
just wait, something crazy is gonna happen.
Oh no, what's Brie Larson gonna do this? Because if it's anyone, it's gonna probably be her, right?
Yeah, sure. Oh God, yeah, she's already there, and she hasn't said much to begin with. So
that's my point. Like, it's not gonna take that much to push people over the edge on her.
Yeah, it's coming.
and then, what does Tom Cruise do for Zach and Mission Impossible 7?
I mean, he might die actually. So,
well, would that hurt the box office for Mission Impossible 7?
No, I think it would help. I think it would help actually.
I think the death of Tom Cruise would really help the box office.
He's better start planning some Hitman shit right now.
Some John Wick shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think he's gonna need something. I mean, I think that movie might actually be fine on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would put money on that movie making $1 billion.
Yeah.
Without much effort. I think the last one made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is coming off his first $1 billion movie ever. Or no, he's coming off his first $1 billion movie ever. So the last one didn't make $1 billion. See, I thought about the next statement I was going to say. I made the previous one, even though I knew it was wrong. But Yeah, he's coming off his first $1 billion movie ever. I have a hunch that was because of him and not because of the very strong. Yeah, look, Top Gun Maverick made $1 billion. No one's gonna act like Top Gun Maverick's fan base is strong.
That's like it's still the weirdest thing to me.
Is it more weird than the Minions Rise of Gru making $1 billion?
I don't. Well, again, I always root for Illumination. So, even if there wasn't some weirdness behind that, it wouldn't have surprised me.
I feel like some of these movies though, they just have the board members of these companies just go in and buy like whole theaters out and just try to like slowly push it up to $1 billion.
That would be wild.
I feel like there's some sketchy stuff going on. There's some sketchy stuff going on. Yeah. There's no way some of these movies especially because like you look at when the pandemic started, right?
Yeah.
The number of, and I'll at some point I'm gonna make a graphic which proves this, but now I'm just like going off what I'm assuming is true. But there were more $1 billion movies before, like in the few years leading up to the pandemic, than the few years post-pandemic, or the year and a half post-pandemic.
Interesting.
Like if you just think about it, like how many movies have made $1 billion over the last year? Like 4 or 5?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
It felt like every other day pre-pandemic, there was a movie hitting $1 billion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I feel like the conversation is so much the movies are back, but when are they really going to be back?
Well, the question is, will they ever get back to that crazy point where they're like, making all this money? Because if you think about it, right, maybe people have just decided, I got to, like with it going very quickly to streaming and people having to embrace other methods to watch things. Mm-hmm. Maybe there is a true, like, again, it'll be different, right? Like it'll be, people still watch movies in theaters, but I think it'll be a little bit less extreme.
Right.
Because I think people kind of realize, okay, well, maybe I don't have to watch everything in theaters, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have to watch, 7 DC movies in theaters. I don't have to watch 5 Marvel movies in theaters, right? Like I can watch 1.
And also, well, you have to consider the writer's strike as well. Whatever comes of that, I feel like that is going to shape the future of the box office a lot in some way. So
somehow you managed to like find a way at 30 minutes into this, push something where I'm just going to get started on it. And like, I think that was intentional by you. But well, the thing is the writer's strike, at least for this year, is going to be a non-factor. I think in my own professional opinion, which is, very little and irrelevant, but I'm going to give it anyway. and I think that I do believe that the writer's strike will substantially affect TV more than movies. Okay, I mean, there are a few things you're seeing, like the Deadpool 3 stuff and the and I think Blade was pushed back. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was, or something was pushed back. Some Marvel thing was pushed back. Yeah. But I think it'll be less of a movie thing. It'll be more of a TV thing and a streaming thing. Because I think as of now, unless something's resolved, the fall TV season is going to be completely screwed over.
Oh no.
Because unless something miraculous happens, you're going to have to, because you think about it, like the thing with TV, like movies you can kind of push back and you always have stuff, right? TV, no one's really started writing the fall TV shows yet.
Yeah.
And at some point they got to film, and at some point they got to start production, right? And they can't do any of that till it's written. Like writing is the first step. Mm-hmm. And I think that AI is not the solution. Movie studios, AI is not that good. I mean, to be fair, now the one thing I do have to say is I think like some of these mediocrely written movies, you could have probably said, okay, AI could have done that just as well. But you're not going to get any amazing, right? Like if you think AI at this point is going to give you any amazing scripts, then you're stupid and you probably should not be running a movie studio.
And at the very least, I think a lot of people look at it as a tool more than anything. Like, hey, give me an outline for this concept and I'll go in there and fill in the rest type deal.
Or edit it, right? Like edit this for me, right? Make it a little bit better, right? Like that's, I think what it would, I think very much so it'd be like Grammarly, but like on an extreme level in a way, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like, here's and I think biggest, and I think part of that and part of this is also I don't know how much you know about like what they're asking for, but
broad strokes.
they basically want more of the streaming back end because they don't get any of that. And again, it's very TV. Like again, the majority of their concerns are TV focused and streaming focused,
right?
Because theater, like the theater model, despite everyone pleading for theaters to be more greedy or less greedy, depending on where you are, the theater model has literally not changed for almost as long as it's existed. The most turmoil the theaters had was when, I think it was Universal decided, or Warner Bros. Or someone decided, let's make the streaming window like 10 days or whatever. But I don't think, I don't think it'll affect box office. Again, unless this goes, because I don't see it being, I think as soon as someone goes to one of these executives of one of these studios and says, hey, these are the revenue projections if we don't have TV shows in the fall, and we have to start the fall off with reruns. And when they see the awful numbers, I think that's when they realize, wait a second, you just want us to give you more money? Okay. Because at some point, people are going to realize, because I don't think this has hit some of these people yet, like these people who are on the studio side negotiating, which is eventually the money that they want is going to be so much more worth giving them than because you imagine going into September, right, and October with reruns. Imagine having no show come back.
That's not good.
That's terrible. You're thinking about how many jobs get lost at that point, right? You know how many jobs, obviously but there are a lot of jobs it takes to make one episode of a TV show.
Yeah.
Right? Now imagine how many jobs get lost if there are no scripts. You can't film, right? You can't. There's no actors, no filmer, no directors, no editors, no cinematographers, none. No VFX artists. There's nothing. Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Then
it hurts everybody.
Well, spread out. There's no catering, right? Because if you're not filming on location,
I was going to say that actually.
There's no catering. There's no lighting, right? You don't need to rent equipment, right? You don't need to rent vehicles to bring equipment, right? You don't need to pay people to use locations. You don't need to pay cities to use locations. Literally I think it's like a multi-billion-dollar effect. There could be a multi-billion-dollar effect on the economy as a whole if no TV show starts production.
It's a very dooming thought, but I see where
which with all the other economic issues going on with the world right now, I don't think anybody is really in that much of a really needs to start a $2 billion plus kind of just take $2 billion out of the economy, right? You take a lot of money, a lot of and then I could go on a whole economic rant about how when you don't have filming, then people aren't spending money in places where they wouldn't normally, which circulates money, which adds to the economy, which all goes away because these people don't want to give them in relatively speaking, a tiny bit more money to do their job, which they're doing at least pretty well.
Right.
Which is ridiculous in my mind, because I think writers should have livable salaries because they do a third of the work on a TV show.
For sure.
Or a movie.
Definitely agree.
And with that being said, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Absolutely. We do the Star Wars podcast. We talk about all things Marvel and Star Wars, and sometimes other weird things when we get the opportunity. You can, I would say, follow us on Instagram at Star Wars Pod. That's the best way to find us. It's the best way to talk to me directly. It's the best way to find our link tree. Everything's there. I'm trying to make our Instagram like the hub. So come follow us. And even if you don't listen to the podcast, I think we're a good follow on Instagram. So
I agree with that, actually. I think you guys are a really underrated Instagram follow.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I would say I think that more people should follow you on Instagram, because I think,
thank you.
Your podcast is great. Your Instagram might be better.
That's fair. I will take that.
And I'm going to be honest with you, a little bit of it, I get a little bit envious when I look at your Instagram, because you just got all your posts just look so consistent and so good. And mine are a shit show, basically.
Because I don't think that's true. Look at the screen right here. Look at my beautiful face and everything surrounding it. You do good work. You do good.
No, I'm saying my Instagram post, because when and my video thumbnails, because I change my mind on what looks good about every other day.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, there's like a whole bunch of chaos and crisis. Like, I think I've used 3 different. I mean, I've rebranded my channel 5 times in the last like 2 months. So
see, my thing is I have those moments, they're just further apart. So like if you go back to my Instagram, we've changed like the format of things quite a bit, but it's always like every 4 to 5 months or maybe a little longer.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, half the change I'm making now are actually going to be permanent, and basically everything about our channel is changing over the next like 2 months, and I had to like get ready for that, and so I've had to like constantly rebrand.
Yeah,
but now I finally realized, I finally got into the final phase of evolution in terms of rebranding, and so basically, despite the fact that literally everything's going to change in the next 2 months, honestly, the next few weeks, but they were literally just throwing our entire structure away and starting again for basically, which is, I was teasing actually, and now you can go listen to it, which when I was talking to Morgan yesterday about the fantasy movie stuff, and then we just ended up talking about the future of both our channels, and I basically like told him how everything is basically changing like over the next little bit, because I've decided that I don't want to host everything and do all the work. So
fair.
I've decided, you know what? Let's try to offload things, and so
there you go.
We're gonna do some things.
I'm excited to see the future of Comic Boys for sure.
And speaking of that, you can follow us here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or on podcast things if you're listening to it, I guess. But you don't get to see my beautiful video if you're listening to it. So you should check us then out on YouTube and subscribe. And then at some point our website will be up, which you can then not only can you on our website look at the rosters. There's a whole tab for this fantasy movies where you got the rosters, you've got the score, like the live scoreboard. You're gonna probably have a few cool other things, but you've also got links to all our reviews. Like that's gonna be our hub going forward.
There you go. I love it.
And on top of that, you know what's even better? I think you're gonna like this. There's actually a page where you can actually go to the page, okay? And there's a bunch of logos. You know what the logos represent?
Oh, I don't know.
The people I like on this platform.
Oh,
so I told Morgan's logo is there. So is yours.
Okay, I love it. That's cool.
On the page, you can actually go and you can click and you can directly get sent to the Star Wars YouTube channel.
Let's go. That's sick.
And so if you really like, if you're like, you know what, this guy clearly knows what he's talking about because he's winning and is leaving everyone in his dust, then you know what you can do? You can go on the website and you can just go and you just click on the thing and you get his YouTube channel, and you can now watch all the insightful analysis that you will get on, and you will then, when fantasy movies takes the next step, you will be able to win your own leagues, which
let's go.
I'm teasing a little bit too much without confirmation about any details on that part, but it's coming.
It's the idea. So it's the dream.
Oh, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of whether how soon I can get it confirmed.
Yeah.
But I've been harassing people to make me an app. So
okay,
we're gonna see.
Moving up.
The idea is that there will be an app in the future, and it'll be glorious. And so that's why you have to follow Star Wars, because clearly only one of us knows what's happening, even though I created it. So, but I'm in second place. So you should also follow me, and then follow everyone else, because they're all, okay, almost all of us are positive digits.
It's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, almost all of us.
Yeah.
All of us are above -20.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the least you can do.
Exactly. I mean, I could have gotten like -11, but -20 seems more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, as I feel like I'm just gonna end up being lazy, and this will just somehow be like a 3-hour long video with all of the different things, or I'll be not lazy and I'll actually like put in, or I might just make them a bunch of separate videos. I've got a lot of choices.
You got choices.
I love having too much footage, except for when I have to edit it.
Just don't cut any of me out and cut everyone else.
Well, I think more likely than cutting, because that's a lot of work, I'm going to probably just make them different videos.
Yeah.
Like I'll just, because like 45 minutes is not too long for a podcast, right? But that'll probably be what ends up happening. And I'm thinking again, depending on timelines, I might make one of these videos a website exclusive.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love that.
I want to test it out. I don't know whose it's going to be, but one of you guys are going to get pushed to being a website exclusive, I think.
Cool.
Because I feel like testing the waters and also making people go look at the live scoreboard and all that other stuff.
Yep. Bring them home.
Also, I think if everything goes the way it should, you might at the moment or whenever the website launches be able to actually edit the live scoreboard like on your own end. Obviously, it doesn't change anything. So you could say, okay, if this makes this much, if this person jumps at this many points, how would it affect everything? I don't think you can be more specific than that because of the limits of my abilities and technology. However, Michael's going to go on and give himself like 1,000 points just to see how nice it'll look, right? when you have 20, you have 1,200 points and everyone else is just so far behind you.
Of course.
I know you're going to do that.
Yeah, at least once.
So it's okay because and again, if the limits of technology work, there will also be a voting feature where you can vote on who you think is going to win, or more specifically, why I'm going to win.
Okay.
Because the confidence doesn't go away, no matter what.
Yep. I expect nothing less.
Exactly. So thank you again. Thank you for coming on, Michael, for doing this.
Absolutely.
I know you're a very busy person, so it was great because I needed you to come on because now you know why I needed you.
I have to have the crown for sure.
Yeah, because I needed you to see your face when you realized that you are up. Not only are you winning, you're up by 289.
I was pretty sure I was number one. To be fair,
I mean, because you looked at your roster, you probably knew for a fact you're number one.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, with that being said, and with the fact that this is like 40 minutes, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Adios.